Have a look at Hattie Shupin. He is your 2024 Arnold Classic champion. And what a champion he is. Some say that he is actually better than the Mr. Olympia champion, Derek Lunsford. And you know what? That is a very interesting topic. Could the Arnold Classic champion beat the Mr. Olympia champion? Well, the thing of it is, Hattie Shupin won the Arnold Classic in 2024, and if I'm not mistaken, there has not been a Mr. Olympia yet this year. So I guess we'll have to wait to see if the 2024 Arnold Classic champion is better than the Olympia champion. But what we can do is go through the history of the Arnold Classic event and see if ever that champion was better than the Mr. Olympia champion. We begin, as always, at the very first ever event, 1989. Rich Gaspari was the very first ever Arnold Classic champion. So this is a think piece as well, guys. Sit down and relax. This is a real thinker, not a stinker. And we have, of course, the most dominant Mr. Olympia champion in years in Lee Haney, 89. So absolutely no. And food for thought, Rich Gaspari placed fourth at the 1989 Mr. Olympia. So absolutely not was Rich Gaspari beating Lee Haney ever. Fast forward to the very second Arnold Classic, and what's going on? There's a couple of guys there. That's Mike Ashley and Sean Ray. Sean Ray, he won that night, but he was disqualified. So Mike Ashley is actually your Arnold Classic champion. And, of course, he is not beating Lee Haney, even on Lee Haney's worst day, which may have been in 1990. That was the tested event. And anyway, that makes it 2-0 for the Olympia title. Go to 1991. Sean Ray, he makes good on his Arnold Classic title. He wins one officially, and he looked good too. But you know what? It was an even bigger gap between Sean and Lee Haney. Lee Haney, 1991. Maybe his best showing. Food for thought, Sean Ray placed fifth at the 91 Olympia. So a little bit worse than Rich Gaspari's fourth. And Mike Ashley did not even compete at the 1990 Olympia. 1992, Vince Taylor. Could he beat Dorian Yates, the Olympia champion that year? No, I highly doubt it. He was good, though. Vince Taylor, very underrated. He got sixth at that year's Olympia, which was, at the time, the lowest of any Arnold Classic champion. 1993 is perhaps of some debate. If you consider the 1993 Olympia a debate, Dorian Yates, he is awesome. This was his best year, hands down. And if not for that, Flex Wheeler of 93, he could have beat him at the Olympia. Now, here's the thing. Flex Wheeler was a couple of shots, 2 or 3 shots sharper at the Arnold's Classics in 1993. Could that little bit better a version have defeated Dorian Yates? I'm going to go ahead and say no. No, he couldn't have. But perhaps very close. And of course, guys, Flex Wheeler placed second, making it the highest placing at the Olympia for any Arnold Classic champion. And I guess that's the highest they could place unless they won, right? I guess we'll find out if that happened. 1994, this is fun. Kevin Levrone becomes the 1994 Arnold Classic champion. Is he better than that run-down version of Yates? He was run down because he tore his bicep. You can see it. Noticeably softer as well. He was a little bit bloated. I mean, the guy was injured. So he did what he could to bring the condition that he did. And that's the thing. This here Kevin Levrone, he was sliced. Was not your traditional big Kevin Levrone. I mean, he was big compared to a normal person, but he was very peeled, as you can see. And there could be an argument, guys. There could be an argument that 1994 Arnold Classic champion was a little bit better than the Mr. Olympia that year. But is it set in stone? I'm going to go ahead and say no, considering that a similar Kevin Levrone in 1994 lost to Yates. He placed third. Food for thought. So I'm going to have to go ahead and say maybe not. Maybe not. So no Arnold Classic champions yet, for sure. That could beat the Mr. Olympia champion. What about 1995? Mike Francois, he wins the Arnold Classic title. No way, shape, or form is he taking Yates in 95. He placed way down in 7th at the Olympia in 95, did Mike Francois, making it an all-time, at this point in time anyway, 95, an all-time low. Look at Yates. One of the few shots of his teeth. He never hardly ever showed his teeth. Looks like he's got a Texas smile. Wide open spaces? No? Anyway, 1996, Kevin Levrone once again takes the Arnold Classic title. And if you're counting, that's a couple of times. So keep count. It's the same old story, guys. You turn them around and Yates is just so full of raw meat in that back. That's incredible. Now, Kevin Levrone placed either 3rd or 4th, depending on who you ask, at the Olympia that year. Nasser got disqualified, but I don't buy into that foolishness. 1997. Here we go, guys. If you count 1994, I understand. I don't really. But 1997, Flex Wheeler, he hit a second stride at the Arnold Classic that year. And Dorian Yates, it was about time to put that old pony away. You know what I'm saying? Dorian Yates, I actually did a comparison between these two dudes. The 1997 Arnold Classic champion and the 1997 Mr. Olympia champion. You could tell me all day long Yates was super conditioned. He beat him. And, well, fact is, a lot of people consider Nasser to have defeated Dorian that year. And this Flex Wheeler defeated an even better Nasser. But Nasser at the 97 Arnold Classic was awesome. So I'm going to go ahead, make it official. Marks Max Muscle thinks that the 97 Arnold Classic champion is better than the 97 Mr. Olympia champion. So, did it ever happen, guys? Yes, it happened in 97. But there is, of course, some debate. Oh, and food for thought, Flex Wheeler did not compete at the 97 Olympia. I think he was attacked by ninjas or something of that nature. 1998, Ronnie Coleman takes over. It was his first Olympia win. And there's going to be a bunch of no's here. There's no way Flex Wheeler, 98 Arnold Classic champion, was better than Ronnie King Coleman. In fact, Flex Wheeler placed second to Coleman in 98. Nasser El Sambadi is the 1999 Arnold Classic champion. He looks huge. He actually placed sixth at the 1999 Olympia event. I don't know what happened to him at the Olympia. But of course, guys, he's not touching the best Coleman of all time. 2000, Flex Wheeler gets another Arnold Classic title. You guys keeping count at home here? He, of course, is not touching one of the most underrated versions of Ronnie Coleman here in 2000. Flex Wheeler, he didn't even get second that year. He got third. He got third in 2000 at the Olympia. 2001, here we go. This is official. This is the first absolute 100% for sure Arnold Classic champion beats the Olympia champion Ronnie King Coleman, even the Colemanites. You guys are just listening and not looking. You guys are running over to the screen in anger and then realizing that Ronnie King Coleman was the Arnold Classic champion in 2001. Not only that, 2001, his form that year was not the best. And that's being polite. And his 2001 form at the Arnold Classic, a lot of people say that it was his very best. Better than all of the versions. So there can be no debate. 2001 Arnold Classic beats the Olympia. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, buddy. And then you go to 2002 and lightning strikes twice. It was Jay Cutler himself taking the Arnold Classic title that year. Not only that, but he actually looked better, in my opinion, than he did in the 2001 Olympia, which a lot of people say was his best form and even enough to defeat Ronnie Coleman, which is a debate for another day. But here's the thing. Do the math, guys. Ronnie King Coleman was considerably down in size in 2002. In my opinion, it was his worst version. He was, he was at least huge in 2001. But 2002, using this version of Jay Cutler, I would suggest yes. That year's Arnold Classic champion would maybe beat. And I'm tiptoeing around that. I don't want to upset you Colemanites, but you guys have to face facts. He was vulnerable in 2002. And Jay Cutler was the man to do it. And he never did compete at the Olympia. So the Arnold Classic champion 2002 did not compete at that year's Olympia. 2003, Jay Cutler. He wins another Arnold Classic title. This time, there is just no way, shape, or form that he can touch the biggest, maybe the best version of Ronnie King Coleman here in 2003. Jay placed second at that year's Olympia. Food for thought. Same old 2004. Jay Cutler takes the title again and again. Could not beat Ronnie using the Arnold Classic form or at the Olympia. He got second that year at the Olympia. 2005, we see a new face in Dexter the Blade Jackson, but of course Coleman was still in his prime here in 2005, so that's an absolute no, and this is strange. Dexter did not compete at the 2005 Mr. O. Interesting. 2006, Dexter the Blade Jackson gets a second title in a row. Kudos to him. And it could be of some debate now. Dexter did defeat Jay. I think the 06 Jay would be more than enough to defeat Dexter the Blade Jackson, though, I think, in 2006. 2007, write it down, guys. We have another Arnold Classic champion beating the Olympia champion in Victor Martinez. He got second in 2007 to Jay Cutler, but Mark's Max Muscle, wouldn't he have beat Jay Cutler at the Olympia that year if his Arnold Classic version? Well, yes, I think that absolutely, that Victor Martinez did beat Jay Cutler in 07. And I think that using his Arnold Classic version, I actually think the gap's even further. I think he was even better conditioned at the Arnold Classic. So 2007, I'm writing it down, guys. Get upset if you want, but I'm sure most of you guys agree. Victor Martinez was better than Jay Cutler. 2008, this is a very interesting situation indeed. And this is the only one of its kind. Dexter the Blade Jackson, hear me out. He was the Arnold Classic champion in 08. Could he have beat the Olympia champion that year? Yes, he did. He did defeat Jay Cutler that year. And he is your Mr. Olympia champion. But was the 08 Dexter Arnold Classic better than the 08 Olympia? It's like splitting hairs, guys. He was so consistent, too. So, he was just as good. So, very unique is Dexter the Blade Jackson's case. Ronnie, of course, won both, but he never beat no Olympia champion. He was the Olympia champion. And another guy does win both, but he does not defeat an Olympia champion either. Only Dexter. 2009, we have an easy no for a decent version of Kai Green in 2009. But maybe the best ever Jay Cutler. So, absolutely no. But the following year, 2010, Kai Green, could there be some debate here? Well, midsection's a little bit too much, I think. And considering Jay Cutler actually maybe at his most shredded from the back point of view. Of course, Kai, some of the thickest lat insertions of all time. But I think there's too much debate. I'm going to have to go ahead and say no to 2010, but it's close. Kai actually, he pooped the bed that year. At the Olympia, he got 7th. And he got 4th the year before at the Olympia. Sorry, guys. 2011, a resounding no for the champion, Branch Warren. 2011 Arnold Classic champion does not beat the best Phil Heath of all time. Branch did not even compete in 2011. Is that the year he fell off that horse? Oh my goodness. 2012, Branch Warren makes it a two-peat. Repeat. It's a repeat, not a two-peat. Should be called two-peat. He would not beat Phil Heath. This is a bunch of no's, guys. Just like Ronnie King Coleman's era. He got 5th that year at the Olympia, did Branch Warren. 2013, Dexter the Blade Jackson. Of course not. Kudos to him for winning another classic title, though. 2013, Phil Heath may be the best. Dexter got 5th that year at the Olympia. Dennis Wolf, a new face to the scene. And Phil Heath, ooh, he's vulnerable here, eh? Big old belly. Big old sack. Wow. But I think the conditioning would be too much. You can only go but so far. And then, don't even look at the calves. We're going to have to go ahead and say no. Considering Dennis Wolf, he placed, 4th that year at the Olympia? Not very well at all. 2015, looky loose, Dexter the Blade Jackson takes another title. The thing of it is, 2015 Phil Heath may be one of his most dominant versions. Actually, Dexter, he placed 2nd at the Olympia that year. He was good, very good. Kai Green, interestingly enough, he takes the Arnold Classic title in 2016 and debatably could beat Phil Heath in 2016? I think not. Kai did not compete that year. Of course, he did not compete. He never competed again. After another Arnold Classic, he did after that one. But anyway, I did a comparison between the two, and I did ultimately agree that Phil Heath was a little bit better than Kai Green. So you're going to have to go ahead and mark a Marks Max Muscle no for 2016 and a double time in 2017 here with Cedric McMillan taking the title. And no disrespect meant to Cedric McMillan at all. But was he in the league of Phil Heath 2017? Maybe one of his best versions aside from, of course, the midsection. His back was maybe at his best, wheels, things of that nature. Cedric McMillan holds a record, a dubious record at that. He placed 10th at the Olympia in 2017. So that is an all-time low for the Arnold Classic champion to place at the Mr. Olympia event. 2018, we have a little bit of a debate. I'm sure not for most people, but to me it is. William Bonac. He was outstanding at the Arnold Classic when he took the title in 2018, and man, oh man, it would be worth a comparison between the two. For sure, Bonac. I mean, that back is out of sight. Out of sight. But ultimately, Roden maybe would prevail as far as the video is concerned. Going to make some snap decisions on this. We're going to go ahead and say no to 2018, considering a similar version, placed 4th. William Bonac got 4th that year's Olympia. 2019, and I know you guys that heard me say Dexter the Blade Jackson's version, or his case was very unique. It is. Brandon Curry did the same thing in 2019. He won the Arnold title. He won the Mr. Olympia title, but he never defeated a Mr. Olympia champion. There was no champion going in that year. So Dexter's still unique to that. Now, it is an open debate to me whether Curry was better at the Olympia or the Arnold. Most people say Arnold. Oh, he was better. He's more peeled. Well, that could be. Lighting was a whole lot different, too. So, we will say it is similar to the Dexter the Blade Jackson case, whereas the Arnold Classic champion that year is exactly as good as the Mr. Olympia champion. 2020, and this is a unique situation too. Am I the only one that finds these unique situations interesting? William Bonac, he wins your Arnold Classic title that year. Now here's the thing. Big Ramrod, 2020, of course. He was like a wrecking ball coming in there. Destroyed everybody. But here's the unique part. William Bonac actually defeated the Olympia Champion at the Arnold Classic that year. Huh? Interesting? No? Oh, come on. Somebody's got to find that interesting. I know I do. Bonac got a disappointing 5th at that year's Olympia. 2021, Nicholas Walker takes your Arnold Classic title. Could he have defeated Big Ramrod 2021 at the Olympia? No, he couldn't have. Even though the Arnold Classic version of Nick was slightly better than what he brought to the Olympia, but still he placed it 5th at the Olympia, was it not? Yes. 2022, we have the former Mr. Olympia champion himself, Brandon Curry, taking another Arnold Classic title to his credit, and it was Hattie Shupin taking the Olympia title that year. And on paper, some people might think Brandon could take Hattie, but no way, shape, or form is the 2022 Brandon Curry defeating the Mr. Olympia champion in Hattie Shupin. So a resounding no. And we are almost winding down to an end, guys. We have Samson Dauda taking the Arnold Classic title in 2023, just last year. He was great. He was awesome. Could he have defeated Derek Lunsford, the Mr. Olympia champion in 2023? Absolutely not. He was close to being the same at the Olympia, was Samson Dauda. And in my opinion, even if he was a little bit better, he would not have gotten through that asteroid belt of Hattie Shupin and Derek Lunsford. I just don't think it was in the equation at all. So we're finishing off with a no to the question, could the Arnold Classic champion defeat the Mr. Olympia champion? Now, concerning Dexter the Blade Jackson's unique case, Hattie Shupin himself is the Arnold Classic champion. He has the chance to do the same thing by going in and defeating the reigning Mr. Olympia champion in Derek Lunsford. And he would also, like Dexter the Blade Jackson, be a Arnold Classic / Mr. Olympia champion of a single year. That would be incredible. But not only that, guys, if Hattie does do that, he will also tie the record of Jay Cutler by being the second man in history to lose the title and then regain it. Could you imagine that, Hattie Shupin? It would be naught but celebration for this man. And who knows, after the Olympia event, we may be joining Hattie Shupin to this very select group. 2001, Ronnie King Coleman. 2002, Jay Cutler. 2007, Victor Martinez. And some would say, of course, Dexter the Blade Jackson and Brandon Curry, but I consider those two versions right on par with each other. So, in all three of these cases, in my opinion, these guys would have defeated the Mr. Olympia champions. So, does that answer your question? A 24-minute answer to your question? Hope I did the request justice. Took a long time to set up, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I find all that information very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Have a great one, guys.